So, one of the questions I normally get when I post scholarships that are out there, especially if they are requiring any English proficiency test, is Tafara, will Duolingo work? They give me all sorts of tests that are the English proficiency tests that are there. And I always encourage them to just read through the requirements and see if the kind of test that they're writing is accepted, because most of the scholarships or the jobs really post the kind of English proficiency tests that they accept. So are you planning to certify your English proficiency for academic or for professional or immigration purposes? It is important that you understand the various English proficiency tests that are available and how they can help you choose the best one that fits for you, because we don't want cases whereby you write a test, an English proficiency test, and then the next thing you are told by the employer or you are told by the scholarship board that the proficiency test that you have is not the one that we require. And we also need to consider that some of the dates of exams for these English proficiency are not easily available. So you need to make sure that you book for the right date, you book for the right test, so that you avoid disappointments, because I've heard of stories whereby people had everything in place except that what they had was wrong. And I wouldn't want you guys out there to make the very same mistake, because time is of essence. It is of importance, especially when you're applying to study abroad. The whole process can take a year or 18 months when you're preparing and all of that. So here are the common English proficiency tests. So here are the common English proficiency tests that are there. So the first one that we have is the International English Language Testing System, which we normally call IELTS or IELTS. And the purpose of this test is to be accepted for study, work, and migration in countries like UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And within the International English Language test, the IELTS, there's the academic one, and then there's the work one. So you need to ensure that you're writing the correct test. And then this test is formatted in a way that you have 4 parts. You have the listening, the reading, the writing, and the speaking. And normally the scoring is a 0 to 9 band score, which is an average of all sections. And as I said before, we have the IELTS academic, which is the one for university admissions. And you don't want to find yourself writing the other IELTS when you want to go for admission. They will not take the other one, which is the general training. So even vice versa, that means you have to ensure that you are writing the correct English test. And then the second one is the general training, which is for work and immigration. And I think that is what most people were writing when they wanted to relocate to the UK or even to relocate to Australia or US. This one was the one that they were running. And the most important thing that you need to know is that when you write these English tests, they are only valid for 2 years. That means that when you write those tests, make sure that you are ready to go through the whole process of applying, because if you don't apply for the year that you write it, that 1 year would have lapsed, and the next year, if in the next year you're not able to use it, then you would have to rewrite again. And I don't need to emphasize the point that the cost of writing the IELTS is very expensive. So you need to take note of the validity. And then when you're writing taking these exams, you need to focus on time management, especially in the reading and writing sections. And I know that there are quite a lot of resources out there which kind of show you how to really study effectively for the exams, and a lot of material. Like the internet is a whole university, and you should use your curiosity as to your advantage. So the internet, there are a lot of things that you can use to prepare for the exam yourselves. Sometimes you don't even need a tutor, because most of the tutors of them are on YouTube, and they would have explained the things in videos and all of that. So take note of that, and that's one of the English proficiency tests that are out there. And then the second one that we have is the test of English as a foreign language. We call it TOEFL, and this is the one that you do if you're planning to maybe teach English as a foreign language. And I think for most people who are teaching English in schools like China, or teaching English online to countries that are not native English speakers, this is what they write. And I think this is also an opportunity if you are a bachelor student, or any student who has a degree who is at home and is not doing anything. It would be nice if you could do these courses and apply for jobs online to teach English. I think I'll do another video showing you the different websites you can learn about teaching online on English, and the other certificates that you can do for free that are recognized in countries like China, Thailand, and other European countries. So the purpose of this TOEFL, or test of English as a foreign language, it is accepted for study and work, and primarily it's mainly accepted in the United States and Canada. And the test format for this is that it is an internet-based testing system. So it also has like reading, it also has listening, it also has speaking, and it also has writing. And the scoring band for the TOEFL is 0 to 120. So each section is scored out of 30, and the validity is 2 years. Yes, the validity is 2 years. I think I did something like this, which was similar on a teacher record website, and I did it last year when I was trying to look for jobs to teach online, and it wasn't really hard. It's only your determination and only how you allocate your time, because I think they would say it would take a long time, but I think I took 4 days or so. I was just nailing myself to ensure that I practice and then I write the test. And the tip about doing this English proficiency test is that note taking is allowed. So to practice summarize, so that you practice to summarize key points quickly. So you should also take advantage of that if this is the test that you are required to do. And then the third one is the Pearson test of English academic. They call it PTE academic. I know this one is not spoken most of the times, but it is accepted for study and migration, and especially it is accepted especially in countries like Australia and the UK. And the test format is that it is computer based. It is speaking and writing, reading, listening, and the scoring of this PTE test is 10 to 90 scale, and this is computer based evaluation. So the validity is 2 years, and because PTE is AI scored, you need clear pronunciation and structured responses. This is very crucial, because if you do not give clear pronunciation and structured responses, because it is managed by AI, if it doesn't understand, then the next thing you would have failed. So it is also important to note this when writing the PTE test. And then the fourth one is the Duolingo English test, and I think everyone has Duolingo in their phones if you want to really learn languages. And this one is a bit is accepted by some universities and online programs, but it's very rare to find universities that really accept this. I think most of the scholarships that I've come across, they always say, we do not accept Duolingo, we do not accept Duolingo. And yeah, so it depends. If the whatever it is that you're applying, either a scholarship or a job, says they accept Duolingo, I think you should do it. And the test format is adaptive test covering. So you do reading, writing, listening, and speaking for about an hour, between 45 minutes to an hour. And the scoring is between 10 to 160. The validity is also 2 years. The advantage of this test is that it is low cost. And I think for all the tests I've mentioned, they range from $300 going up, but this one costs approximately $49, $50. And you can actually do it at home. It is a home-based test. You don't need to travel anywhere to do the test. And it also gives you fast results, like you get your results in 48 hours, unlike other tests where you have to wait weeks before you can get your results. So since it's an adaptive test, each answer affects the next question's difficulty. So yeah, that's also one thing that you need to know if you're writing the Duolingo test. So as you can see, this one is a bit cheaper. That means it's more available to other people, and then it's adaptive and all of that. And I think most universities do not want to use this for their admissions. It's an exception when you see a university accepting the Duolingo test. So yeah, as you can see from the advantages and disadvantages, you would know what is widely accepted and what is not widely accepted. And then the fifth one that we have is the Cambridge English exams, which are C1 advanced or C2 proficiency. And the purpose of these studies is that it is accepted for study and work in English speaking countries. And it only has 2 levels: C1 advanced, which proves high level English skills, and then it also has C2 proficiency, which is the highest level of English certification. And the test format includes that you reading and use of English, and then writing, and then you do listening, and then you also do speaking. And the scoring of this test is a pass or fail. So you either pass this or you fail it, or it maps your level to certain levels. Either you are B2, C1, C2, and the validity is lifetime. Unlike all the other all the other English proficiency tests that I've mentioned, when you have this Cambridge English proficiency certification, you are guaranteed that for the rest of your life you can still use your certification, unlike the IELTS and the TOEFL. And then it is ideal for people who want permanent certification, especially for teaching and academic purposes. And I think it is important to choose the right English test based on your goals. If you're someone who just wants admission or into admission or a scholarship or work, you can do the IELTS, the TOEFL, the Duolingo, the PTE, depending on what you want. But if you're someone who wants to make a career out of teaching English, or in your academic, you want to expand your academic portfolio and all of that, you would have to do the Cambridge English Proficiency Test. So one important thing that I want to note is that it is important to choose the right English test. I think I've emphasized this point when I started, that you need the test that is best for you, a test format that works for you. And to round up, I think I have noted that the IELTS is for study, work, and migration. You can either write paper-based or computer-based and speaking tests, and the main users are in UK, Canada, Australia. The TOEFL is for university admissions. You can write it online. USA and Canada mainly uses this. The PTE gives you quick results, and it's an AI scoring test. It is computer based, and normally Australia and UK uses this. And then Duolingo, we talked about how it is budget friendly and how it is fast. It is done online, and it has selected universities that actually accept the Duolingo. And then for Cambridge, we said it's a lifetime certification, paper based, written certification, and it is accepted in the whole of Europe, and also for other teaching jobs across the world. So with this, I hope you have learned the different English tests that are available, and you now know which test to write for your pathway that you're going to choose. Is it going to be education, admissions? Is it going to be for migration, for work, or do you want to be an English teacher for the one thing that I've also stressed is that you need to improve on your time management, and also you need to assess yourself and work on the weak areas. I think generally you can actually assess yourself to see, what's my weakness? Is it writing? That means spellings and all of that. Is it speaking? And then you practice and use different online resources. There are a lot of websites out there that you can use. There are a lot of Coursera courses, online courses that you can do. And also one thing that I would want to let you know is that you need to be much more calmer and confident so that you're able to speak fluently, and also not panic when you're taking the test. So make sure that you take the right test for the right pathway that you're choosing for yourselves.